This is the Xiaomi Redmi K70 Pro, which has a 6.67-inch OLED 120Hz display.
At the bottom from right to left, you have a speaker grill, followed by a Type-C charging port, what appears to be a microphone, and a SIM tray which houses 2 nano SIMs.
So you can use one for personal and the other for work, or one for personal and the other for travel, which saves you carrying 2 phones or swapping SIMs. In terms of variants, the K70 Pro comes in 256GB, 512GB, or the 1TB option.
At the top, you do get what appears to be an earpiece and an IR blaster, which has a multitude of uses. The IR blaster allows you to set up your device using the Mi Remote app, so you can use your phone to control appliances like your television, DVD player, fan, projector, etc. On the right hand side of the device, you do get the volume rocker and the on-off power button, and on both sides you do get the antenna lines. It is made of polycarbonate and the latest glass on the front display. The sides are made of aluminum, which gives it a really premium and luxury feel. And I can tell you, this device weighs around 209 grams, which is really light in the hands. And if you're someone that does not like curved displays, you will love this device because it does have flat edge-to-edge display.
The other great thing with this device is that the rear is not a fingerprint magnet.
At the top, there is no second speaker. However, you'll have to believe me when I tell you that the sound also comes from this section right here. And along with the speaker at the bottom, it does produce really good sound quality along with Dolby Atmos.
In terms of colors, this is the white variant, which is very smooth on the back, even though it has this marble-like effect. And they also come in blue and black. In addition to that, you can also get it in Lamborghini green and yellow. You can purchase the device from official online retailers such as Gistop, Trade in Shenzhen, Wonder Mobile, etc. I purchased mine from Gistop and I covered the whole buying process from the moment I placed the order right until it was delivered to my door in a separate video. When my device arrived from Gistop, it was pre-installed with the Google Play Store and Google Mobile Services. So I was pretty much ready to go right out of the box.
When it comes to unboxings and presentation, Xiaomi certainly know how to deliver. For example, you get a SIM tool ejector and some paperwork. They also supply a USB-A to USB Type-C charging cable. Of course, you do get a flexible case which you can start to use right away with the device. And if that's not enough, you also get a 120 watt charging brick, which will charge the device from 0 to 100% in about 30 minutes. Apple, Google, Samsung, that is what an unboxing experience should be like.
If for instance you wake up in the morning and you find that the battery level on your device is pretty low, well, with the 120 watt charger, you can charge the device from 0 to 100% in about 20 minutes. And that's with the charging boost feature turned on.
If you're going to be keeping this device for some time, you'll definitely want to keep it looking fresh. So for example, if you go into the wallpaper and personalization section, you've got themes. Look at this, go into the wallpapers, you can choose something from your gallery or use the super wallpapers on here, which are fantastic. In fact, let me see if I can quickly download one here. Look at this, woof, that is beautiful. That is excellent. So you've got some choices there available to you. And if you just scroll up a bit and then look at this, you have more wallpapers available to you. And the key thing to know with all of this is that they are free to use. So why not take advantage of it? And if we just go back, and then here if we move on to the always on display, I mean, you've got so much options here. It's really good. And if I just keep scrolling here, look, you can choose clock style. Look at that, kaleidoscope. See, as I say, you can keep your device looking fresh, and some of these do get updated with new ones as well. So yeah, that's fantastic. Obviously you've got some other Chinese ones here as well. So again, another way to customize your device, keeping it really cool. The others pretty much self-explanatory. Let me just select this one that says icons so you can see it, and look at this. I can change the size of the icons. So if I look at that, eye on there, look at that, make them nice and big or make them smaller, and as a result you'll be able to fit more onto a screen. With the refresh rate, you can use it at the recommended default, which will balance power consumption with performance, or go to custom and have it at 60 Hz or at 120 Hz refresh rate, which I have to say does not impact the battery life. The other thing I like about this wallpaper section is this crystallization option, and as it says there, the beauty of science. So if I just quickly scroll through here, so you've got these options available to you. Let's just pick one of these. Let's pick this one here. Look at that. Woo, really nice. And then just go along and then choose whichever one you like, and you just download it as your wallpaper.
Honestly, you will struggle to drain the battery within a day, and that's even with heavy use. Out of the box, the device comes with Android 14 with Xiaomi's Hyper OS on top. And I have to say, it is really simple to use.
If you find the color scheme too saturated for you, you can always go in the settings, change it to Vivid, Original Color Pro, or you can go in the advanced settings and make further changes to the colors that will suit you. As you can see, you have access to all your favorite apps and they work perfectly. You have the Play Store, and I can tell you all the apps that I've installed have worked with no issues to report. Maps works fine, and this is taking this device across to different countries around the world. And what I've also done is remove the original search bar and replaced it with a Google search bar. And the other thing I've done here, so you can use voice as well. So here if I go to Xiaomi.com, look at that. How fast and quick was that? And it was accurate too. So as you can see, everything works fine. So you should have no problems being able to use all your apps on this device.
I have to be honest and disclose that I have not tested the Google Pay feature on the device.
When this device was released back in November 2023 and the publication of this video, this device has the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset, which is no slouch, and everything works like a dream.
You do not get Android Auto with the device.
You can switch the display resolution from Full HD Plus to WQHD Plus, which gives you more clarity. To unlock the device, you can use a pin or a pattern. You also have the choice of the under-display optical fingerprint sensor, which works really well. You also have the option of face unlock, which is pretty quick. And last but not least, you can also use Bluetooth to unlock the device. Because this device has an under-display optical fingerprint sensor, what it means is that you can set up animations so you can identify it very easily. So if I just tap on cancel there, so you got choice of this starlight. Look at this, got dream. If I move along, and you've got the iris.
If you're enjoying this video, then a subscribe to the channel below would be magnificent, and it is free to do, as my analytics are showing less than 1% of you are subscribed to the channel. And a big thank you to those of you who have subscribed to the channel. The other thing to note with this device is that it does not have an official IP rating, so you will need to be careful when using this out in the wet.
You do have a 16 megapixel wide front-facing camera. On the rear, you do have a 50 megapixel wide camera,
a 50 megapixel telephoto camera with 2x optical zoom, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. And last but not least, you do have the LED flash. Let's now take a look at some sample photos and videos taken with the device. And remember, none of them have been doctored pre or post production. Here's the footage using the front-facing camera. Got the device about an arm's length away, and I'm just using the internal microphone within the smartphone. And I've also got the volume at maximum, but I'll probably tone that down once I go into the editing suite, so you can judge the audio and visual quality. And remember, this is at its maximum, 1080p at 60 frames per second.
Let's now take a look at the camera settings within this device. And right in here, you can see you've got some options at the bottom there. If I just move along here, you've got documents, you've got pro options, so you can change the white balance, autofocus, shutter speed, etc. So just to give you an example, tap on here, look at that, you got a dial and you can play about with, which is really cool. And then if we just move along, got photo, portrait, night, plenty of options here. And if you go into the more section, look at this, you've got the likes of director mode, long exposure, panorama, time lapse, slow motion, etc. And something else that's really cool with this device is if you just tap on there, look at that, you can change it to those presets if you prefer. Going back to the video option, you can shoot video up to a maximum of 4K at 60 frames per second with the rear facing camera. In addition to that, you can shoot in 8K at a maximum of 24 frames per second. And when we move over to the front facing camera, you can shoot video up to a maximum of 1080p at 60 frames per second. One feature that I do like within the camera settings on this device, and that's when we go into the aspect ratio, and I can flip from the current 16:9 or 9:16 if you have it portrait, and shoot video in widescreen. Now this is excellent, especially if you're a real movie buff, and it adds another dimension to your videos. Nowadays, with everyone vlogging on their cameras, one feature that I would like on all other devices, which I think should be standard, and believe it or not, it comes standard on this device. And as if we go here, and look at this, you have the teleprompter. I cannot tell you how useful this is, especially someone like myself who's given a lot of technical information. If I could put them in bullet points or just paraphrase them, this would be excellent. And you can use it in this format as well. And if that's not enough, you can also use it on the rear facing camera. This is an excellent touch by Xiaomi. I really love it.
The call quality on the device is crisp, clear and sharp. I've had no issues with it at all. And I also get regular 4G and 5G connection.
There is no wireless or reverse wireless charging on this device, but to compensate for that, you do have the 120 watt charger, which will have you up and running in no time. You may be thinking of purchasing this device, and one area you may or may not have thought about, and that is the bloatware on this device. Especially if you're going to be purchasing the 256GB base model. Well, as someone who has the 1TB option here, well, I can tell you that it came with around just under 30GB of system storage. And I can tell you some apps you can delete and some you will not be able to delete. Like Samsung devices, you do have the option of installing the edge panels, meaning you have quick access to your latest apps. And you can also move the edge panel from one side of the screen to the other, which is very handy. The animations on this device are excellent. And just to prove it, so for example, let's say I want to delete this app here, and then I'm just going to tap on the bin there. Now, once I select uninstall, just look at the animation on the Galaxy wearable app and it will happen very quickly, so keep your eye on it. Oh, that is superb.
When it comes to taking selfie photos, right out of the box, they will come out the wrong way round. So it is imperative you go into the settings menu and make the change.
The other thing you can do is to put apps into folders, which is really nice because it means that it keeps your device looking clean and clutter free. And then obviously you can just tap on there and just give it a name. If like myself, you enjoy watching content on your device without the punch hole being in the way, well, if you go on here where it says hide notch, you do have the ability of hiding that front facing camera. If privacy is your thing, well, you'll be pleased to know that this device has something that is called second space. Now, second space is very similar to Samsung's secure folder. And after using both, I would argue that this one is far more superior. So basically, what the second space allows you to do is effectively have two phones in one. So everything that you can do in your regular space, whether it's apps, games, files, photos, videos, anything that you can do there, you can have it in the second space. And the beauty is, once you turn on the second space, so say for example somebody wants to use your device, that's not a problem. Once you set up the second space and open it, they can go in there and do as they please, in the full and secure knowledge that they will not have access to anything that's in your primary space. For this particular clip, what I've done is deliberately turn down the lighting in the studio so you can gauge the animation when you charge the device. So now I'm just going to insert the cable. Keep your eye on the screen. Look at that. I don't know about you, but that is sumptuous. And it's little details like this that make this device, and from my experience using Chinese devices, a joy.
Well, that pretty much wraps up for this episode. My name is Sholo. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another episode. Peace.